It's time for the Coach Groves Show, where we sit down with the head coach of the Darlington Tigers football team and talk about all things Darlington School football. Now we go live to Matt Davis and Ian Griffin, who are standing by with Coach Wayne Groves.
Indeed we are, and we're glad that you are with us for another episode of the Coach Groves Show. And it's hard to believe it, but Coach, this is the final week of the regular season. How you doing today, man?
I'm doing well. It's been a full week, and hustled over here. Well, actually, I left practice. We got done practice a little bit early today, around 5:30, and our Mike football team is in the semifinals over behind the levee. So I flew over there and got to watch 2 quarters of them behind the levee, and then coming over here just to get over there and support those guys, and then come over here to talk a little Tigers football.
And speaking of that, I peeked at the score because they were doing a little Facebook Live of that game. It looked like things were going pretty well.
Yeah, when I left, it was 32-0 in the fourth quarter, and they were handling Coosa pretty good. So I guess they'll be in the championship next Monday, so that'll be pretty cool for those guys.
And we do want to mention, since you bring that up, that once again this year, WLAQ is going to provide play-by-play coverage on the radio of those championship games. So we're excited about that. And we'll also record it. That way we can upload it to our website for the families and stuff that go to the games would like to go back and listen to the call. So anyway, we'll go ahead and jump into our first question of the show. And, I thought a good place to start the show this week, Coach, would be to acknowledge an incredibly special display of support, encouragement, and love that the players and the coaching staff received this week from the Tiger family. So we're going to get you to walk us through that moment. Obviously, last week was a tough week. I've had some injuries to the team. Game didn't go how you wanted it to, and a lot of things to overcome. And so your fans really stepped up, came out, offered that encouragement. So walk us through that a little bit and tell us about that experience, if you will.
Well, a couple of the parents reached out to me on Sunday night and said, they wanted to do something for the team. Just, this team has really inspired a lot of people in the Darlington community just with their fight and grit and against, all odds in a lot of games and then beating teams double our size with being outweighed on the line of scrimmage, 50 to 60 pounds a lot of weeks, and then win some of these games. So this team has got a lot of support, and Monday after practice, I'm thinking, maybe the few parents going to come by and bring some Chick-fil-A sandwiches or something. But we come around the corner as we're coming off practice, and we got a full-on pep rally going on. We got candy. I've got probably about 70 parents and fans are there. They've got signs made. They've got candy bags. They've got Chick-fil-A and all kinds of different food and chips and cookies for them. And they got the speaker playing. They're playing music. And then Miss Twyman, oh, it was great. Miss Twyman's wearing the Tiger mascot costume, and she's waving the Jolly Roger flag, the skull and crossbones. And man, I'm just like, holy crap, I'm just blown away by this. And so I thought it was great for our team to come off the practice field on Monday and have that kind of support to show them how much the community loves them, how much people are behind them and are pulling for them to do well.
Well, Coach, you talked about the grit that this team has shown, and we've talked about it all season. That ability to shake things off in the face of adversity and keep pushing forward. That is the identity of this team, no question. So how has this group of young men responded and banded together this week after you lose Sammy to a tough injury and just had one of those nightmare type games where everything just went sideways?
Well, we had some real talks with the team on Friday after the game, and then we came in on Monday when we met with them. We just talk about, we had a really good meeting. I gave them, exactly what I thought we needed to do to be successful this week. I laid them out how it's got to operate, how we got to practice and what we got to clean up, and then what we got to do to win the ball game. But I also told them that, at this point when adversity hits, you don't try to do too much. You just go back and you do exactly what you've been coached to do. You do your job to the very best of your ability. Do it as fast, as low as you can, but then control the things we can control. I wanted to go out there and you control your attitude today. You control your effort today. You control your energy, your passion, your will to come out here and prepare for the game. All those things are internal that we can control and come out here and we can motivate each other. And we had a really good practice on Monday. So it was good to go out and kind of get back in a positive and to get rolling and get things going with everything that's happened so far this year.
And, Coach, last game's Honeymoon Bakery player of the game was Jace Donaldson. He's won it a few times this season. had a 75-yard touchdown play, blocked an extra point. I believe he recovered a fumble, among other positive plays in the game. So what are your thoughts on the way that he played and continues to play for the team this season?
Well, he's been a factor in every game, and he definitely makes plays when he gets the opportunity. But I was proud of how he played regardless of the situation, regardless of where we were, regardless of what some of the outcomes had been. He played and he led by example. That's exactly what we want of our kids. No matter what the situation is, you just keep playing as hard as you can. You keep playing as best as you can. You just keep coming after them. And he did that. And Jace is a guy, he is a do more, say less kind of guy. And so I think that's a huge compliment for kids. He doesn't, he is very humble. And he doesn't have to brag on himself, but like my dad used to tell me, if you're good, you don't have to tell anybody; they know. And so Jace is one of those kids. And so, he keeps on performing, he keeps on getting better, he keeps on making an impact, and that's what we want of our Darlington Tiger football players.
Well, it is hard to believe that the regular season is coming to an end on Friday night. Some teams will play games next week because the hurricane postponed them. But for the Tigers, this is it. I know you're always looking for ways for your team to grow and improve. But what would you view as the biggest areas of growth you've seen from your players throughout this season?
Well, a lot of things, obviously X's and O's and we've gotten stronger and our better football IQ. But the thing that I'm most proud of is just the mindset our team has had this year, just the never quit mentality, the brotherhood that our team has come together with this Dirty 30 identity. Hopefully maybe next year we'll be Dirty 40 or Dirty 50. I don't know. I hope our roster will grow, and there's definitely been some interest from kids that are in the hallways that aren't playing. They say, Coach, I want to come play for you guys next year. And so that just says a lot about the culture we're building, that we're going to coach you hard, but we're going to love on you hard. We're going to hold you to a high standard, in the classroom, on the football field. And that's what I'm most proud of. It's just our kids just buying into everything that a good football program should be about. Our kids believe in those things and they try to live it every day.
And Coach, to follow that up, obviously it's always a goal for you and your coaching staff to continue to grow and learn and things of that nature. I know you've been coaching for a long time, but this is your second year as a head coach. What are the most important things that you feel like you and your staff have learned throughout the course of the season that will help you guys grow as you move forward with your program?
Well, we've learned how to navigate a team and get a team ready with a limited amount of players. As a head coach, you never, think about, having a limited roster or dressing 26 players on a Friday night, some nights when you have some injuries going on. But we learned how to navigate that. We've learned how to practice well that way. We've learned, our kids, even though, we don't get to have as physical practice as I would necessarily like, just because, risk versus reward. But we figured out ways to practice where our kids still are able to be physical on Friday nights. I don't think we've had a Friday night where I thought, man, we played soft or we didn't play tough enough. So just being able to navigate those things. And so if those situations ever come up again in my career, I think our coaching staff and myself will be definitely prepared to do those things. But I felt like we're able to get this team ready with the limited number, and so that's not always easy to do.
Well, that's going to bring us to the end of our first segment of this episode of the Coach Grove Show. What do you think about the decorations that we've got? Obviously, Halloween's coming up tomorrow, so Ian kind of hooked us up a little bit.
Yeah, it's definitely festive.
That. We got to have that after Halloween.
My 9-year-old, this is his favorite holiday. Nothing touches Halloween, so the house is decked out.
We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll jump into the Black Shirt Awards, and we'll also have the Getting to Know Coach Grove segment, and that's all coming up next here on the Coach Grove Show.
Shop for your next car, truck, or SUV at Riverside Auto Group. Check out riversideautogroup.com today to browse their selection or visit with them in person at Riverside Chevrolet GMC in Rome, Riverside Toyota in Rome, and the all-new Riverside GMC Cadillac in Cartersville. Locally owned and operated by the Welburn family since 1974. That's Riverside Auto Group. Visit riversideautogroup.com.
Welcome back in, everybody. This is the last regular season episode of the Coach Grove Show. Obviously, playoff edition coming up in a couple of weeks, so looking forward to that. But anyway, we'll just go ahead and jump back in. And, Coach, let's talk about your black shirts for this week, man.
All right, so for offense this week, I know Jace Donaldson, had some plays and had a big run there. But I thought that Nate Konchesky needed to get the black shirt. I thought, Nate is our third string, fourth string quarterback. And, once you get in the season, you don't get a lot of reps with the third and fourth string quarterback. Your ones get the majority of the reps, probably about 70% of them. Your two guy, which is Henry Ledbetter, gets about 30% of the reps at quarterback. And so that third and fourth guy really haven't got him any live reps, since this summer. So last week with Henry being banged up, Nate got a few reps, but I thought for him to step in there, and after obviously there's some jitters there and there's some, just some nerves. I thought when Nate settled down, I thought he started operating the offense. He read the midline, he read the inside veer good couple times, and then made a couple good passes. So I thought Nate just be able to step in that situation took a lot of guts. So Nate Konchesky got the black shirt. On defense, there's some honorable mention guys. Noah Duggan, I thought he had some really good plays at times, and Bryson Jones played his position really well. But I thought Jace Donaldson, he deserves the black shirt on that. Again, it's the fourth quarter and he's blocking extra point field goals, and he's laying out, and he's making plays on the sweep play when he got an opportunity to, and he's knocking down passes, staying deep over the top. So I thought Jace's efforts deserved the defensive black shirt. On special teams, this guy's continued to make plays, and he got a starting role because Miles been a little banged up last week. But Zayden Simpson, the freshman corner wide receiver, he just keeps on getting better, and he's going to be a fantastic football player. I mean, he is really athletic, he's long, and he works extremely hard in the weight room, but he's made plays every week in special teams. And so, I can't ignore him anymore. He gets the black shirt. So, Simulation Scout Team O, I was watching film 2 weeks ago when we're getting ready for Temple, and I'm watching this guard come off, and he is just killing the folks. And so I looked up, and it's Ade DeSalo. He's in there playing scout team guard, and he's giving us a fantastic look. And so it gives Ade the black shirt there for Simulation Scout O, and then on Simulation Scout D, he's been consistent all year, and I told him today, I said, man, when you put on about 40 pounds and we have a good offseason in the weight room, I said, you're going to be one fantastic football player, and that's our freshman quarterback and free safety, Tristan Leeser. He's going to be a dang good ball player. He's getting better. He does a lot of things that are really technically good on the football field on how he tackles and his footwork and things like that. So Tristan Leeser gets the Scout D Simulation D black shirt.
And I know we're about to talk about the Get to Know Coach Grove segment, but we have a comment that I'd like to acknowledge, and this one comes from my mom, the matriarch of WLAQ, has chimed in. She says, I know one thing we're getting to know about Coach Groves, his staff, and the Dirty 30 and their parents, class act. All a class act. So just wanted to throw that in there before we jump
Appreciate
back
that.
in.
Nice. Well, we will jump into getting to know Coach Groves a little bit better, and it's Halloween tomorrow, so it's a 4-part question. Actually, we were going to have 3-part, but we have to close this out the
Lightning
right way.
round.
That's right. That's right. So, what are your favorite candies? What's your favorite scary movies? Halloween songs, and then we got to know what is Grayson Groves dressing up for Halloween this year.
Okay, part one. Favorite candies. All right, so for me, that's going to be and this will get picked out of I'll definitely pick out of Grayson's bag. Don't judge me for that. But if they're Sweet Tarts, if they're Snickers, if they're M&Ms, that's going to be my Halloween go-tos right there. Right, probably pretty standard for most people, but Sweet Tarts, Snickers, and M&Ms are my go-to. Second part was?
That's your favorite scary movies. Scary
movies. Okay. All right. So scary movies, I would say original Halloween. The first one, that's got to be the definitely one. Nightmare on Elm Street, Freddy, the Dream Warriors. I forget which one that one is. Yeah. But that was always one of my favorites, the Dream Warriors, where they could, when they got in the dream, they could be whatever they wanted and they could go attack him. I thought that was always pretty cool. Silence of the Lambs is a favorite. I think that's a good one. And then you got like Exorcist and The Shining, some of the classics.
Very nice, very nice. What about songs? Halloween songs.
Okay, so I take Grayson to school every morning. She rides to school with me, and so I guess the past 2 weeks, just about every morning, we listen to 2 Halloween songs because we're just trying to fire up about Halloween, that we're going to have a go trick or treating and all that. So the 2 Halloween songs that have been on repeat in the morning are the Monster Mash and then Thriller.
Okay,
so we
can't go wrong with the classics.
No, I mean, they really can't.
Staples.
Yeah, absolutely.
For me, song wise, I'd go with Thriller, obviously, Ghostbusters theme song.
Yeah.
Put a Spell on You, the Screaming Jay Hawkins version, but also Jeff Beck has a version that I really like with Joss Stone singing. Pet Cemetery by the Ramones, I always like that. As far as scary movies are concerned, I don't even have to think about it. For me, it is without a doubt the movie Poltergeist. Those movies scare the bejeebus out of me. Right. I don't even know how to put it, but particularly the Reverend Cain character in that.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
when
he
is. He freaks me out. Yeah, but so that's a scary movie. I don't even mention another one after I mention that one. And then as far as the candies are concerned, I like gummies. So I like your Juji fruits and the dots and stuff like that. And I didn't used to care for candy corn, but I've got a thing for candy corn now.
It's been a discussion in our house,
and it's not safe anymore.
Yeah. What's your favorite part of the candy corn? The yellow, white, or the orange? Do you have a favorite?
Differentiate?
I do. Yeah, the yellow. I don't know why.
Jess and Grayson, they're been eating a lot of candy corn at the house. I'm like, I don't see how y'all do that. That stuff's nasty. And then when I worked at Rome with Barry Hall was a candy corn connoisseur, but it had to be Brock's candy corn. Barry Hall
only Brock's.
Only Brock's. Yeah. So
I made the mistake of buying a different brand once, and nobody wanted to eat it. It's just not the same.
And the chocolate ones are a no-go. It's got to be the yellow cap for sure.
There's just too many other good candies.
Yeah, I agree. I'm a Milky Way and Twix guy. I like those a lot. So peanut M&Ms are always a winner too. I'm in line with you on the songs. Thriller and Ghostbusters, I can't live without. And then scary movies, the original Halloween, I still will have nightmares where Michael Myers is trying to kill me to this day. Like every now and then it'll just pop in. I'll be like, man, that was some serious trauma that movie caused, but I love it. It's great.
Anything anybody else would like to add? What are your
my oldest isn't dressing up, but Carter's got 5 different costumes. So tomorrow he's going to be wearing a ghillie suit, so he'll look like a walking bush. And then he's got a headless horseman costume he's going to wear when he goes trick or treating. So anyway, it'll be a lot of fun. He loves it, man. I'm telling you, I have Halloween decorations to spare. So that's why I brought those with me.
Fantastic. Well, good segment as always. And let's see, we've got another comment here, and it says, Uncle Sam is dressing up as Olaf, and Grayson is going to love it. So there you have it. Yep.
Yeah, my uncle's got a snowman suit.
Nice.
Like with the thing that blows up and everything. And then Grayson's she's being Elsa from Frozen.
Nice.
Her
Good
and probably
choice.
About every other young girl in the neighborhood.
I took my daughter to a shorter university production of Frozen once and watched every little girl in the city auditorium cry when she was saying, it's a girl thing.
Yeah.
There you go.
She gets to be what she wants to be.
Right.
Well, we're going to wrap up this segment, and then we're going to come back and have one more. And in that segment, we're going to talk about the upcoming opponent, the Bremen Blue Devils, a road game to finish off the regular season. So looking forward to talking about that. And that's coming up next on this edition of the Coach Grove Show.
Shop for your next car, truck, or SUV at Riverside Auto Group. Check out riversideautogroup.com today to browse their selection or visit with them in person at Riverside Chevrolet GMC in Rome, Riverside Toyota in Rome, and the all-new Riverside GMC Cadillac in Cartersville. Locally owned and operated by the Welburn family since 1974. That's Riverside Auto Group. Visit riversideautogroup.com.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to our final regular season edition of the Coach Grove Show. Hard to believe that. We're here with Wayne Groves, excited to talk about some Darlington football and the big matchup coming up this Friday on the road at Bremen. You're hitting the road to close out the regular season, taking on a tough Blue Devils team. They're a lot like your Tigers. They've faced some adversity too. I know their quarterback went down at one point, and they've continued to battle. What are your overall thoughts on this matchup, and what do you expect from this Bremen team on Friday?
Well, this region's going to give you no breaks, as we've talked about all season. I mean, there's a lot of good football teams in here, and this Bremen team is no different. You know, it's cool that we get, you know, one of these historic Northwest Georgia rivalries back. You know, I don't know when the last time we've played Bremen at Darlington, but it's pretty cool to get that back on the schedule, because I know that game means a lot to a lot of people from both schools. So, two proud programs, two traditional football schools that'll be well coached, that'll be playing really hard, that'll be both teams will be very gritty, and I imagine this ball game is going to be one that's going to come down to the fourth quarter, and you know, just 3 or 4 plays will be the difference. So I think we'll be ready for that.
And I think the last time that Bremen and Darlington played was in 2021, unless I'm
I was
mistaken.
there.
Yeah, Ian was there. Unfortunately, I couldn't be there that night. One of the rare times that I've ever missed a broadcast.
That's
but
right.
Anyway. Yeah, so we'll go ahead and jump into this matchup. You know, Bremen's had some games this season where they put up some impressive numbers. What do you see as this team's strengths?
Well, their offensive defensive line are probably their strengths. You know, they have a kind of a non-traditional defense. They're very multiple. You know, they'll be in some 3-4, they'll be in some 4-2, they'll be in some 3-3 stack defense. You'll see them play a lot of man coverage at times. You'll see them play a lot of cover 2 and cover 3. On offense, you're going to get a lot of 11 personnel. You're going to get a lot of 21 personnel. So they're going to have a tight end in the ball game a lot. They do a good job with bunch sets and oversets. And they're going to run sweeps. Sweeps going to be their number one play. That's going to be followed by inside zone, split zone. They will have counters, quarterback counters, and running back counters. They do a pretty good job with screen game. They do a good job with that. Sprint outs are a huge part of what they do, and then they'll take vertical shots every now and then. So feel like we got a good plan for them. We feel kind of know who they are and what they're about. So, you know, we try to make the plan easy for our kids so we can play fast. You know, we don't have to overthink, and we can just react and play physical football.
All right, we've discussed the scheme of these Bremen Blue Devils. Who are the players that jump out when you're watching film with this team?
Well, the kid that's kind of been their go-to dude is their running back. He plays some wildcat quarterback. He plays running back. That's number 22, Trent McPherson, and he's got quite a few yards this year. But he's a senior. He's 5'9", about 185 pounds. Then you'll see Aiden Price, who's a receiver, running back. He'll play some wildcat quarterback. He's just a good athlete. He's 5'11", 180 pounds. And then you're going to see some big linemen up there and fullbacks. You'll see their nose guard, D-tackle, plays fullback, plays some tight end. Sophomore A.J. Edmerson, he's number 6. He's 5'11", 280 pounds. You'll see their O-line, D-tackle, number 54, Justin Elliton. He's 6 foot, 225, senior. And then you'll see the D-lineman guard, number 77, Bryson Jenkins. He's 6'4", 295 pounds.
We're glad you're with us on the Coach Grove Show. And Coach, you know, we ask you this every week, and I know some of it remains the same things of that nature. But what would you say are the keys to ending the regular season on a high note down at Bremen coming up this Friday night?
Well, what I told the kids is we've got to be great at fundamentals. All right, we have to limit negative plays. We've got to have no missed assignments. We've got to control and take care of the football. And then if we do that, we'll be in the ball game, and we'll have an opportunity to win.
Well, Coach, after last week, I know it's an ever-changing scenario. You have a spot in the playoffs secured, but what are the playoff implications of this game?
Yep. So we're guaranteed. We're in the playoffs. We've secured that 4 seed or better. So Darlington, we've been in the playoffs for 18 straight years now, and that's one of the top in Northwest Georgia. So we're very proud of that. A lot of people didn't think that was possible with this team. There was a lot of naysayers going into the season, and our kids and coaches, hats off to them. They just went to work and didn't listen to any of it, and went out and performed and executed to get us to this point. So we've locked up a playoff spot if things go well on Friday, we can handle business. I think we're going to get a home playoff game, and I'm almost guaranteed of that. So that's what we're shooting for. We want to get these seniors one more home game at Chris Hunter Stadium, guaranteed. We want to be in that 9 to 16 range, ranked in Single A, and that would give us that. And if that doesn't happen, then we'll be on the road in the first round of the playoffs.
So I guess this would be a call to all the Tiger Nation out there for you to step up one more time for the regular season. Be there, be loud, be proud, wear your purple, and support these kids. And we're looking forward to the game, man.
Yeah, I think it's going to be great. You know, these kids need your support. It's going to be huge in the fact that, you know, we're going to Bremen, it's not about a 45-minute ride. And if we can go down there and handle business, we can get a good crowd and just give our kids a little extra motivation, we can come back and play at Lakeside in 2 weeks. And so that should be the goal. That is the goal, 100%. And so many people we can have in purple cheering the boys on, it's going to only help us play better.
Excellent. Well, what can the fans look forward to seeing as far as the uniform combo when they make the drive to Bremen? Because this fan base has shown up all year. I know they'll do the same on Friday, but what are you going with? Sticking with Stormtroopers?
No, I'm going to switch it up this week. We're going with the white jerseys, and we're going to put on the purple pants again. I feel like we got to have a little extra purple for this week to bring this thing home. So we're going with the purple pants this week.
Heck yeah.
Awesome. Well, as usual, it's been a fun show, and I've enjoyed talking to you, Coach Groves, and we appreciate you doing this. Obviously, we've got at least one more edition, hopefully more of the Coach Groves show this year, but I just wanted to take the opportunity as we wind down the regular season just to thank you again for doing this, because it's something we look forward to every week. Absolutely. And we get a lot of great comments from the fans that enjoy getting to hear from you every week and hear what's going on with the Tigers, and we appreciate the opportunity, so thank you, man.
Yeah, well, we've got a ton of great assistant coaches and a ton of players that do a lot of good things. And so this is kind of a platform for me to brag on all the good things that the people around us in our organization are doing. So it's really fun for me too.
That's awesome. Well, that's going to put a wrap on it unless anybody's got anything else.
I just hope everybody has a happy Halloween, and then we'll celebrate it with a Tigers victory Friday night, right? That's what we're going for.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah.
Nothing like a Tiger on a Friday night. Yeah. Go Tigers.
Go Tigers.
Go Tigers.
All right, we'll put a wrap on it for today, folks. Hope you have a great weekend, and we'll see you Friday night down in Bremen. That's going to put a wrap on this edition of the Coach Groves Show. Have a good one.
Thank you for tuning in to this week's edition of the Coach Groves Show. We invite you to join us again next week as we discuss all things Darlington football with head coach Wayne Groves. Go Tigers!